Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another airline pilot vlog. For those that are new here, my name is Peter, aka Pilot Pete. I'm a Boeing 767 first officer, and today we have another great trip for me, for a commuter, since I live here in New York, in Newark. Look at this. My trip starts with a front end deadhead to Newark. Today, Monday, we got a actual flight on Tuesday to Memphis, layover in Omaha, and then a trip to Newark with a back end deadhead out of my home airport. So once again, if you were here last week, I had the pretty much very similar, started in Newark, ended in JFK. Pretty rare for that to happen since I'm a pretty junior guy on the totem pole, but when it does, there's nothing better because I'm literally getting paid to be at home. So this week, we're starting off today, Monday. I'm on the clock in about 2 hours, so we're gonna go enjoy a New York City day. How it works is, since I don't live in base, which is Memphis, my company buys me a ticket from my base, Memphis, to the departure city, which is Newark in this case. I cancel that ticket, I bank that money, and I start getting paid my hourly rate from when that airline departed Memphis. Hopefully that kind of makes sense. So for a commuter, there's nothing better than getting a trip that starts and ends in your trip. And like I said, as you can see, it starts in Newark, layover in Omaha, and we'll get back on Wednesday before July 4th on the 3rd, and it ends with a back end deadhead from Newark. So we'll be getting paid to be watching fireworks, eating some chipwiches, and hanging out by the pool on July 4th. So perfect for me. As always, you want to come along for the ride, let's go do it. So like I said, I'm officially on the clock. It's 3:45. My flight from Memphis to Newark is happening right now. So we're on the clock, but we're already here. So we're living the dream. Gonna go run a few errands and look at my newest toy addition, the Hofsco electric scooter. This thing is freaking legit. I just got it like 2 or 3 days ago and I'm obsessed. I take it everywhere with me in the city to run errands, go to the gym, get my hair cut, you name it. I'm buzzing around. Probably a little more aggressive than I should be. It goes up to like 20 miles an hour, but we're loving it. So let's go have a day in New York City. Time to go run some errands. Like I said, I don't leave home without the Hofsco scooter anymore. This thing is freaking legit. So one of my favorite parts about it is it's got these brakes, but it's also got 3 modes. I got medium mode, and then I got double click for high mode. And then if I really want to go slow, like in crowds or whatever, I can just, whoops, double click for medium. All right, so the first place we're going today, we're heading to the track to get our laps in. Got 3.7 miles on the marathon training program, so don't want to burn the legs out. We're gonna scooter there and then start the run. All right, errands are done for the day. Got our meetings done. It's about 5 o'clock local. I just rode the scooter to my nearest track right on the East River over there. And today's marathon plan, we got 4 miles speed training. We're doing quarter-mile laps, 60-second rests, and at certain interval paces. Because I'm going to mention it probably in every video from here on out. I'm training for the NYC New York City Marathon. The link below if you want to donate $1, $2, $10,000. It all goes to Children's Aid. It's a New York City organization that helps underprivileged kids and their families that could really use it. So that's who I'm running for. That's where the fundraising efforts are going towards. I'd really appreciate any dollar counts, but 4 miles today. Kind of cheated by scootering here. We're gonna get it done, non-negotiable. Let's go. Got the run completed. Now we're heading to Trader Joe's to go grab some dinner before we gotta pack and then get ready to head to Newark tomorrow where the actual trip starts. So get some sleep, eat some steak tonight, and I'll see you tomorrow morning in Newark. Good morning, beautiful people from the luscious, beautiful Newark, New Jersey. What a beautiful morning. There's not a cloud. in the sky, feeling good, got a lot of rest. Love when a trip starts in my home airport. So just overall good vibes. Flown his captain a bunch, real nice guy. We got one leg together today, just Newark to Memphis. He'll probably be flying the leg, and then when we get to Memphis, we're going to Omaha to continue on our 3-day trip. Life is good, no complaints. We're actually flying an ETOPS airplane though. This plane just came from Paris, landed like 3 or 4 hours ago, so it's got the sleeper bunk in it. I've showed it a few times in different vlogs, but when I go to pre-flight that, I'll make sure to show you guys that. And 2 hours, 39 minutes, 2 hours, 39 minutes to Memphis. Even though no one will be using it because we're not doing an ETOPS flight, I still have to pre-flight it, make sure it's all good to go. So this is the bunk. Like I said, this airplane just came from Paris, so this was definitely used. They had 3 crew members on board, bottom bunk, top bunk, and I pre-flight pretty much all the emergency equipment, make sure it's all good to go. But unfortunately, I will not be sleeping in here. I'm operating the flight, so just 2 of us up front. Neither of us will be back here, but one of my favorite sleeping quarters to sleep in. I think it's super quiet, comfortable, but not today. So here's our route down to Memphis. Clear skies. It's actually gonna be my leg to Memphis, and as you can see here in our flight plan, we have a MEL, which is a minimum equipment list, basically inoperative items on the airplane, and this one is our upper red strobe light. So what that means is our beacon up here, which I explained in a different video, has an inoperative sticker. It still works, the bottom one, but the top one does not. So just has to alert the crew of that. And again, it's not a piece of equipment that affects safety of flight, so it can be inoperative in order to go, and then they have about 10 days to fix it. So probably in Memphis, where there's more mechanics, more parts, they'll do that. So just finish up the last load. Next stop, Memphis. Just landed Memphis, Tennessee, runway 36 right, and your boy had a pretty nice one this time. I don't really have any critiques. It was maybe got a little bit low just before touchdown, but rolled it right on. I'm gonna go with 9.4 out of 10. I don't really know how to get much better than that, but it was nice. But again, calm winds, clear skies. We didn't pass one single cloud the entire 2 hours and 30-minute flight. So overall good flight. Newark's always a little bit busy leaving, and then like I said, smooth skies. So I only have about 2 hours on the ground before check-in for Omaha, and I've mentioned it before, but I'm going to keep mentioning it. I got the New York City Marathon in November that I'm training for. So my training plan via this app I downloaded has me running 4.5 miles today. So non-negotiable. Strapping on the running sneakers, gonna run around the airport and get that done before my next flight to Omaha. So let's go for a run. Good afternoon, folks. We're out on the ramp in Memphis. Just met up with the captain, went over the flight plan, got driven out to the plane. Hot as heck, 4.5 miles on our little layover. Exhausted, but we're feeling good. We're glad we got it done. Now we got one leg to Omaha, Nebraska, hour 40 minutes. Made it to Omaha, Nebraska. Just checked into the hotel downtown. Good flight. We were delayed, ended up leaving Memphis like an hour late. You just get tired sitting in the flight deck. I stand up and stretch my legs, but just kind of draining doing nothing, if that makes sense. But hour and a half flight. You saw those storms that we had to navigate around, no problem. But approach, or actually rather Minneapolis Center kept us way too high. So something that unique that we had to do, we dropped the landing gear. We extended the landing gear to land about 15 miles out from the airport from landing, which is pretty abnormal. Normally, when you hear the gear dropping on a commercial airliner, when I say dropping, I mean the pilots are extending the gear to land. It's anywhere, usually from like 7 to 4 miles out, right around 5 mile mark is what I tell people is usually when I drop the gear. We did it 15 miles out, and that's because we were so freaking high. The only way to get down is to slow the airplane down, get some drag out the flaps, all these certain things, and the gear is one of the most effective way, not fuel efficient, but it's the most effective way to create that drag to get the airplane to slow down and get down. So we did a really nice job. Well, I should say the captain did. He was flying, I was pilot monitoring of doing that, and it worked out. We landed runway 32 left, taxi right into our gate, and the wind must be blowing a certain way. If you're from Omaha, you gotta let me know. It stinks at the airport. It reeks of manure. It reminds me of my flight training days when I was a student at Arizona State University. We'd fly out of Phoenix Mesa Gateway Airport, and my drives to the airport in the morning, if the wind was blowing a certain way, I could smell all the cows and manure. It's disgusting. But checked in, tired. Tomorrow is a long day, unprecedented 4 legs tomorrow on the schedule. So needless to say, I need to get my sleep. But first things first, dinner. I got my run-in already. There's this place, I think it's called Mrs. B's. Last time I was in Omaha, I went. It's fantastic, so I'll bring you along for that dinner. Let's go eat. All right, I'm at Miss B's Pub, M's Pub. I've been here before. It is incredible. I got the exact same thing last time. The Santa Fe cracker thingamajigger with shrimp. It's my favorite meal, probably on the road thus far. You know my rule with steak, I don't do steak out because my steak is too good. But this M's Pub flatbread cracker, they call it a lavash. Whatever this lavash thing is unbelievable. If you're in Omaha, you have to come. 11 out of 10. I got the Santa Fe with shrimp. I gotta try them all next time. Just finished dinner at M's Pub. The place is unbelievable. At least that flatbread thing is. 11 out of 10, folks. You're going off the scale. Gotta try it if you're in Omaha. It's so freaking good. And then I walked into the candy shop and the ice cream parlor, but walked out empty-handed because I'm being a good boy, and also nothing really tickled my fancy. So gonna hold off on the desserts, but sun's out. Feel good. Almost 8 o'clock local time though, and got like a 6 a.m. local wake up tomorrow, so trying to get to bed early. Omaha though, you don't disappoint. Good morning, beautiful people from the ramp in Omaha, Nebraska. The sun is shining. The 767 is looking nice and clean. And I got some good news, well, at least for me. Remember yesterday I told you we were supposed to have unprecedented 4 legs today, but woke up this morning as kind of predicted. They dropped the first leg of the day. We were supposed to go to Omaha to Minneapolis, but they canceled that flight. Again, they don't tell us the exact reason. Normally it just has to do with freight loads and things like that. But what we now have become is what's called a sweeper flight. So what a sweeper flight is, like a broom, is basically we're kind of like on standby as a crew to kind of help fix any potential downfalls in the operation. So what I mean by that is, like, if there's extra freight in, say, Denver, or if a plane breaks down in St. Louis, something like that, we're kind of now hanging out until all those planes depart from those cities, and then we'll be cleared to go to Memphis. So our route of flight down to Memphis today kind of takes us a little bit to the west first, and then to Memphis on a direct shot. And that's because we're kind of the recovery flight for any potential cities or planes that may have some issues. I hope that makes sense. But we're gonna hang out in Omaha. Our plane's getting loaded right now. We got about an hour before our scheduled departure, our original scheduled departure, but more like 2 hours before our sweeper departure. So it all really depends. Basically, GOC, or Global Operation Control, monitors the situation. We all just text back and forth using our ACARs, and if they say, hey, you're good to go, you're good to go. So we're hoping they clear us direct to Memphis sooner than later, so we can have a little bit more time in Memphis to kind of get our stuff done and prepare for our 2 legs to finish off the trip. So hopefully only like an hour and 20 minutes. It'll be my leg to Memphis. Let's go do it. In Memphis, the good news was, as you could tell, we didn't have to sweep the flight or have to go to Minneapolis. So that was nice. Only 1 leg right down to Memphis. It was my turn to fly. Landed runway 36 right. Or no, that's incorrect. We're supposed to, but they changed the airport around. Landed 18. And but the bad news was we were on hold. So we sat in Omaha for like an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. Because of that sweep flight, they make sure every airplane, like I said, departs, make sure all the freight gets out, and you're kind of just sitting there. So it's pretty boring. Kind of makes you more tired just sitting in the flight deck. There's not really much to do or go, but just, you know, hang out, I guess, until the departure time. So got out of there at exactly 9 a.m. local, and then an hour and a half later, we're here in Memphis. Got 2 legs left. We're going Raleigh-Durham, and then Newark, and then 4th of July, the long weekend starts. I'm off completely, so really looking forward to that. 2 hours and 30 minutes here in the hub, so gonna hit a quick chest day, followed by some lunch, and then we'll get ready for our flight. Workout in the hub complete. I got about an hour until show, so gonna head over to our little locker room, sleep room area to get a shower in, eat some lunch. And it's 98 degrees out right now, as you can tell, a little bit windy, but I always like to come outside, get some fresh air, because when you're flying around a tin tube all day and then stay inside and don't get some natural sunlight, I feel like it messes with my mind and body and spirit. So just like a nice little 5-minute outside walk before I gotta head back to work, and we're looking forward to this, folks. 2 more legs, Memphis, Raleigh-Durham, quick turn there hopefully, and then Raleigh-Durham, Newark, and the trip ends with a deadhead, but your boy will be home, so let's go get it done. All right, we're out here on the ramp in Memphis, heading to Raleigh-Durham. We got a special guest, Mr. Landon. Landon, how long you been working here at FedEx?
Working out here for a year.
You enjoy loading the airplane?
Awesome.
What do you tell the people what exactly you do?
We operate a load aircraft for FedEx. Teammates, I run this team, T41.
Heck yeah. How many planes did you load today?
Today we outputted about 4. We're loading this our first one. We got another one right after.
Okay. Is there a difference between loading the 767 and say like a 777?
Oh yeah, of course.
What is the difference?
777 would be a lot easier.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. Why is that easier? I figured it's more cargo though.
A lot less pushing cans.
Gotcha.
Automated system.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. We have the 4th of July coming up. Any fun plans?
Thought about working, coming in and hanging out.
There you go. There you go. Well, we appreciate your hard work here on the ramp, getting us out on time. And what is it, got to be like 100 degrees out here today?
Hot.
So we're staying cool. Again, man, appreciate all that you do. Beautiful people from the hot as heck ramp in Memphis. We're pre-flighting the 7-6. She's all ready to go. We're flying Mr. Poppy today to Raleigh-Durham. 2 legs left, and then the trip is over, and 4th of July gets to start. It'll be the captain's leg down to Raleigh. I'll finish it up, heading to Newark. Excited to get done. pretty much clear skies once we leave Memphis. As you can tell, a little bit of popcorn clouds overhead, so a little bit bumpy leaving here, but hopefully we're out of here. Only about scheduled like 15-20 minutes late right now. Excited to get home and start the 4th of July weekend. Let's get her done. All right, folks, just landed in Raleigh, Durham. One leg down, one more to go. Captain's leg landed 2-3 right. Nice, easy flight, smooth ride. Wasn't even really bumpy leaving Memphis like we expected. And then just got news though that there's a flow program into Newark. So what that means is there's so much air traffic going into the Newark area and airport that you can't just blast off whenever you want. Air traffic control basically has to give you permission. So we basically let air traffic control here in Raleigh know about 10 minutes prior to our departure when we're ready to go, and then they'll call like the headquarters of air traffic control in Washington, D.C., get us a departure time, and then we'll be cleared to go. So Captain really wants to make his flight back to Raleigh where he lives. I really want to get home ASAP, so we're hoping that it's not too long. We're hoping that the airplane gets loaded and unloaded as quickly as possible so we can get out of here. So fingers crossed, and we're only going to be here for like an hour or so, and then we're on our way to Newark. It'll be my leg to finish it off. So something I want to show you guys on the 767 status page is our brake temperature indicator. So basically it uses numerical numbers 0 through 5 to indicate how hot the brakes are. Now don't tell me or don't ask me what 3 actually means as far as temperature goes. I'm not really exactly sure. It'd be like a maintenance function to know that, but as long as they don't go above 4, then we're okay as far as like writing it up in the maintenance manual. So right now they're 2s and 3s, which is pretty warm, but it's pretty hot here in Raleigh. It's 33 degrees Celsius, so that's 66, 60 plus 32, that's 92 degrees Fahrenheit. Plus we exited at like a pretty short taxiway, so they got heated up pretty quickly, but luckily not too warm where we have to like wait a certain amount or have maintenance test them. We're okay in the number that they are. But after each landing, you turn on our status page and we look at the brake temperature. It's not really that important in the winter for obvious reasons, because it's cold out. They're not going to heat up as the brakes are applied, but definitely in the hot summer months in places like Phoenix, I mean Raleigh, Florida for sure, really anywhere for that matter. So we're all good to go. Let's get to Newark. Just landed in Newark. It was my turn to fly. Landed runway 22 left. Not my best, not my worst, a little bit of crosswind, but we came in 22 left. The New York City skyline in Manhattan is right off of the left window. I wish I could film the approach and show you guys that skyline, because if you haven't seen it before, you gotta see it. Hopefully you get lucky one day when you're flying, sit in the aircraft left side window seat, and you get a beautiful day like it is here in New York City to see that skyline, because every time I see it, you know, it's over 100 times, it still gives me that excitement and just like that overall, wow, this place is pretty epic. So good overall flight, great captain. He's actually now getting the transportation to JFK to catch his deadhead back to Raleigh, Durham, where we just came from. This trip technically ends tomorrow with a deadhead back to Memphis at around like 9 a.m. So I'm kind of on the clock for another day, but just grabbed an Uber back to my apartment. I'll be home in like 40 minutes or so, and then 4th of July is tomorrow. So this will be posted after that, obviously, but either way, happy 4th of July. As always, I hope you enjoyed the video. Comments, questions below, and shoot me a DM on Instagram. I get back to all of them. If I haven't gotten back to them, I screwed up something in my settings and I wasn't receiving messages, but that has all fixed now. So apologies if you did prior. I will respond this time around. It's all fixed. So as always, happy 4th, be well, fly safe, and I'll see you next time.